Drink beer. Think beer. You're listening to Brew Bloods.
Hey, this is Mark
and Dustin,
and we are live here at the Big Texas Beer Fest. Of course, won't be live by the time you see it, but
technically you're live everywhere you are.
We are live where we are now. Yes,
it's not live by the time you actually see it.
But we are Big Texas Beer Fest 2017.
Yes,
and we thought we'd show you the sights and sounds of this festival. It's 4 or 5 years old now at this point.
Yeah, I think it's 5 years old. We've been to 3 of them.
3 of them, yeah. We missed 1 year.
Yeah. Well, if it's 5 years old, we missed 2.
I guess we missed 2 then. That's a good point. You are really good at math.
Yeah.
So what we're going to bring today is we're going to kind of shoot around the festival, probably hopefully get some interviews.
Exciting.
Exciting indeed.
It should be good.
Prost.
Sponsored by Barbacoa Apparel. Barbacoa Apparel is a San Antonio-based independent clothing line that caters to Texans and Texans at heart. To find out more about Barbacoa Apparel or to buy your favorite taco tea, go to barbacoaapparel.com.
All right, we're here with Bobby Brown from Franconia. We are standing here in front of this magnificent statue. Tell us about, or not statue, but ice carving. Tell us about the ice carving.
We actually started this about 3 years ago. We actually did a original wooden style barrel.
Yeah.
And then last year we did a boot and a barrel. So we tried to come up with something new and different. This year, since we started bottling our ice box,
right,
comes in just right at 17%. We actually decided to do a bottle this year.
So I have a question about that. We actually posted about the ice box on Reddit in the beer forum, and somebody went all up on me about, there's no way that's not allowed in Texas. There's no way you could get that sold through Texas, but yet, you guys say you're at 17%. I'm assuming there's a rigid process to go.
There is, but as long as the TBC approves it, that's
right.
And they are aware of the process we use to make it. So,
yeah.
And they've never.
All right then.
As long as they approve it, I can care less.
Yeah. All right, so take that, Reddit. You got anything else in the pipeline coming down for Franconia?
Our double IPA will be coming out here in about 2 weeks. We're doing we do for summer, and our Rough Rider Red Ale that we do for the Rough Riders up in Frisco.
Yeah.
We just started bottling that, so you can get that in pretty much any Kroger's, Albertsons, Tom Thumb up there.
All right. Anything special going on in the future too? Anything you can talk about?
Nothing we can talk about right now. We do have some interesting stuff coming down the road, though.
Yeah.
So it will be, and we're already in planning stages for our 10th anniversary. So that'll be a huge thing.
What all are you planning for that?
Probably we're actually talking about maybe doing 10 different ice boxes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're thinking about doing an ice box of every beer we do. See.
All right.
Some may turn out all right. Some may suck.
All right, Bobby. Thanks for your time. All right, so we're here with Kendra, Tommy, and Chris from Noble Rey Brewing. Tell us about your setup here. Is this your arcade that you set up?
So no, yeah, this is not our arcade. We actually we teamed up with Free Play out of Richardson and soon to be in Arlington. They brought out all the games. They set them all up. We just set up the bar, and they helped us build our own custom arcade cabinet.
So what all did you bring to the festival today?
So we brought everything except for Bridesmaids, Tears, and Sex in a Canoe. We brought our Baracus Brown Ale, our Vertigo Double IPA, our Steampunk Steam Lager, our Golden Ray Bavarian Wit, our Paladin Pale Ale, Off the Leash, Texas Red, and then we brought 2 casks. We brought a Blood Orange and Boysenberry Steampunk, and then a Cherry Mojito Golden Ray.
So you're one of the few people that actually brings an experimental brew to the festival.
Right.
You guys in Peticolas, you're the only ones that seem to bring the Firkins.
Oh, well, Firkins, I like doing Firkins. Tommy's kind of a different breed on that. He hates Firkins.
Okay. Well,
he's the one that makes them, and he does a great job at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what do you have coming down you have anything new coming down the pipe? Any big plans?
Yeah, we got a couple big things. I'll let Tommy talk about that.
All right. So the beers we have coming out, we're going to be releasing our Bridesmaids Tears again. This year it's going to be a kettle sour saison with rhubarb and strawberry added to that. And then after that we'll be having a peach Berliner-Weiss.
Yeah.
Very nice. Are you guys going to do the peanut butter Brampus again next year?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's kind of a Halloween staple now. I think I love it. Everyone at the brewery loves it. We get a good reaction from it. So
personally, I would love if you did it year round, but I understand it's got to be a seasonal deal.
So we often wonder, like, we went to the Holiday Ale Festival in Portland, and it's pretty much all experimental stuff. What restrictions well, we talked to Tupps over there about the Firkins, and it's pretty much what the TABC doesn't know doesn't hurt you, but what do you have to pass through to get your experimental stuff here? Anything? If you want to do something one-off for the festival, what do you have to do?
So essentially with Firkins, we all you have to do is keep the same name. We're not changing anything different about it. All we're doing is keeping the same beer, and we're adding to it. And we've already sent in for label approval on like the keg size.
Okay,
that's all that TABC really cares about. As long as you don't change the alcohol in it,
right? They don't care about the ingredients.
Don't change the name, don't change the alcohol. Make sure you got a listed size.
Yeah,
you're good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you plan? Have you done anything experimental recently that you plan to keep, like make mass production? Is there anything you're looking at so far?
One of the things that we've experimented on, and I'll let Tommy talk more about the beer, but we've got a new IPA coming out, and it's called Tactical Combat Firefighter. So I'll let him tell you about the details of it, though.
So it's going to be doing IPA. It's going to be Amarillo, Citra, Simcoe with the Columbus bittering, and we're going to do 2 versions of it. One version is going to be done with the Vermont yeast, which is a very famous yeast up there. So it's going to be like a juicy IPA, and then we're also going to do a separate version of it with Saccharomyces yeast. It's going to be like a tropical IPA version of it. So
all right,
we should be releasing that in the next couple months.
Awesome. Well, have you guys had a chance to explore? And if so, what stands out here other than your own beer?
Brain Dead, we own the night.
Brain Dead?
Yeah. That's probably the best beer I've had here. Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite beer from Brain Dead?
We own the night.
Fair enough. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So my first question is, how long was your beard before you trimmed it?
How long?
Yeah.
It was longer than this.
Longer than that, I would expect so.
I didn't trim that much off. I basically sat down at the chair and I was like, I haven't trimmed the length down here in a while.
Right.
She's like, I can tell. And then, so it was kind of more of like a get the weirdness out.
All right.
Get the scraggliness out kind of thing. So
well, we're here with Chase from Tupps. Chase and his father were our first interview in Brew Bloods way back.
Yeah.
That was, I don't even remember what episode that was, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So how's business been in the last year?
Was it even 2016 or was it 2015?
It might have been 2015.
Wow, was it the end of the summer of 20?
Something like that, yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how, in the meantime, you guys have released a lot of new beers. Another question is, when does a Saison have no name?
Momentary lack of creativity.
It's a good...
The problem is, I mean, really, is there's no shortage of creativity. We come up with all kinds of weird nonsense names all the time, but then you do a quick Google search and you find that 6 other breweries already have that name, and in an effort not to get sued, we can call it Tupps Saison and nobody cares. So, and it really, I mean, it's an Imperial Saison, so we're kind of rolling with Tupps Imperial Saison. If we do a different Saison down the road, that's not Imperial, because that's a little bit more of a niche style, then we'll maybe get creative and contact our lawyers and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen an Imperial Saison before. So this is 9.4%.
9.4.
Which is the highest ABV Saison I've ever seen.
Yeah. I think Oak Highland's Chump Change might be up there, too. I'm not sure.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, this one, our goal was for this beer to drink smooth and easy, but very dry, right?
It'd be very dangerous.
Yeah, so and we really love this Saison yeast, this French Saison yeast, so we wanted to ferment it at a temperature where we would really accentuate those yeast esters.
Right.
And then whatever we added to it, which is black peppercorn, bay leaf, and a little bit of light dried lemon, we didn't want to overpower that yeast ester, because that's really what makes the Saison great, right?
Right.
So in an effort to have that beer drink dry, but have still some body. You know, some Saisons can drink very, very light, right?
Right.
We added a little bit of malt to compensate, and a byproduct of that, and fermenting at a slightly higher temperature means high alcohol content.
Well, I mean, kudos, because this is very smooth.
Well,
it's got a little bit of a black peppery finish to it.
Yeah.
Very dry, but not so dry it's like drying my mouth out. So I think this is another home run for you guys. This is really, really good.
Yeah. I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, and I'm trying your day off, and it's very good. Kolsch is not a normal style I go for, but this is, I feel like you could have a few of these like by the pool during the summer and that kind of thing. Probably along with your Tupps IPA, to be honest.
Yeah. The Saison or the Kolsch is one of those styles where I feel like it's a style that gets used and abused maybe a little bit. And there's a lot of Kolsch's out there and blondes and light lagers out there that are used to compete as opposed to used to showcase the style.
Absolutely. Yep.
And so we decided with ours, we do have a market for light beer drinkers, and so we wanted to appease that market, but we couldn't just brew carbonated water, right?
Right.
So we wanted to do something that had flavor, so we used very traditional Kolsch yeast, so you get a little bit of that fruitiness on the front end from those Kolsch yeast esters. And then we actually added a little bit of applewood smoked barley. So if you get a savoriness on the back end, that's actually that little bit of applewood smoked barley. Not a smoked beer. We don't want it to drink like a smoked beer. We just wanted to add some complexity and kind of a savory counterpoint to that fruitiness of the Kolsch yeast. So
I was going to say the back end that's savory makes it very different than a lot of Kolsch's, because a lot of Kolsch's are not, I wouldn't say bland, but they're closer to bland. Like you actually added a little bit of spice savory to it, which is really good.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of Kolsch's are, I don't know, there's a lot of different ways you could describe it, but not exciting, I guess.
Kind of bland,
Yeah.
to be honest, normally.
So, and that style is great. Those yeast esters are really nice and pleasant, a little bit of fruitiness, but but ultimately they usually drink pretty bland and boring, so.
Yeah, I would agree. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you about, your Tupps IPA, obviously very successful, very popular, and it's a go-to for me and Mark both. The fact that you guys have it at Target has helped a ton with your distribution around here in Dallas. I was going to ask, is it 4L or 4Ella?
4Ella.
4Ella, okay.
Typo, don't mind us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Untapped has it wrong. It has it spelled E-L-L-A, so just to let you know.
It actually is E-L-L-A.
Oh, it is? Okay, I was looking up.
That sign.
That's misspelled, okay.
That's a rush job on our part to get the signs ready for today in time. So if you look at the small print, it does say Ella.
Okay. So Untapped has it right, okay.
Yeah, Untapped has it right, yeah.
So I was going to ask, I know that we spoke to your father earlier, and he was talking about the fact that you guys are going to actually start canning it and bringing it out. Is that going to be like a regular thing going forward, or is this like a one-time canning run?
So it's slightly more complex, the answer to that question, unfortunately.
Okay.
So we're going to have it as long as we have it. The problem is, good thing, I guess, is we lucked into an agreement with a distributor for these hops. Ella, Galaxy, and Big Secret. So we have the hops for what we think our volume is going to be through the end of this year into the beginning of next year. But beyond that, we're on a waiting list. Like I said, we lucked into it. We shouldn't have gotten it. So especially Big Secret and Galaxy are really hard to find hops. So I don't know if we can guarantee that we're going to have it next year. A lot of the breweries out there are looking for Galaxy right now, and so that hop is contracted out through like 2023 or something.
Wow.
So what might happen though is we'll run that beer in 4-pack cans starting in probably 2 months, as long as we have availability for the hops, and then just build a different hop profile but keep the structure of the beer the same next year. So
yeah, that's interesting, because that sounds very similar to the Community Mosaic that they started doing, the Mosaic IPA, just because those are the hops they could get a contract for.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an interesting thing. So I guess contracts on hops with so many breweries coming up and everything, that's kind of a difficult thing these days, I guess.
Yeah, there's the Nelson Sauvin, and there's the New Zealand, there's a lot of New Zealand hops. South African hops are really popular right now, but the hard part is just getting access to them. So Mosaic is actually more readily available now. Citra is more readily available now, but you're paying more for them than you probably should, unless you have a futures contract for your hops. They're going out 4 or 5 years. So if we can get the hops, we'll do it. But worst case scenario is that we keep Ella, because Ella actually we can still get, and then we'll build a different profile using, South African if we can, or maybe Mosaic, or, even some of the hops that are kind of losing their luster, I guess, like Amarillo and Simcoe, which are fantastic flavored hops. So maybe we can, incorporate some of those with the Ella, which is tropical and all that. So yeah, we'll build something else if we lose our hops. So we won't call it 4Ella, obviously. We'll have to come up with new artwork and get creative on names again. But yeah, sure.
So anything else in the pipe you want to relay, like anything in the future, special plans?
We're going to do a joint launch with the Saison. It's going to be a dark Saison. So the story of this beer is kind of it was a trash can beer, basically. Like, we had a bunch of different grains left over, had some hops left over. We brewed the Saison, so we had the yeast, and we didn't use the yeast again because we don't have any other Saisons in our lineup. We'd lose the yeast. So we repitched that yeast into a beer that we built with kind of, grains that we weren't using readily in some of the beers we were doing. thinking, we'll run it through the tap room, see if it sells. It turned out fantastic.
Yeah.
And so we spiced it up. We had sage, cloves, cinnamon. We're actually going to do a joint bottle launch. We're going to do a joint bottle launch with that beer and our light saison, or our Imperial light and color saison. So the artwork will blend together. That when they sit on the shelf together, they'll look cool next to each other. Barrel-aged, full-grown man will probably hit in like a month and a half to 2 months. That's getting submitted to the TABC soon. I mean, we're talking about doing a kettle sour, a little kettle sour series, late August. So.
All right, man. Yeah. You guys have a lot in the works then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is all tentative based on let's say.
Yeah, sure.
The cores pick up. Let's say Kolsch picks up. That's coming out in 12 packs, in a couple weeks. So if that takes off, then the limiting constraint is going to be our tank space. So.
Well, congratulations. I love the saison. It's really good.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all the success. You guys have done fantastic.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
all
thanks so much.
Catch you guys later.
Cheers.
This is Justin Hatley from Lakewood Brewing.
Say it again. You weren't even recording?
Nah.
You weren't recording? Now you're going to do the promo all over again?
You do.
You at home, why are you not here at Big Texas Beer Fest? You need to come next year. If you're watching this and you're not here right now, you need to come next year. It's one of the best festivals in Dallas every year. You're going to get some beers that you're never going to get. Like today, I've got 2 beers that we literally debarreled this week. I think yesterday. Red Wine Till and Toil available on April 20th. Grand Allowance, our barrel-aged wheat wine, Chardonnay barrels, available on I think April 20th as well. And come on now, Beer Bloods? Yeah, Brew Bloods. Brew Bloods. I've actually listened to your podcast. You guys gave some really badass reviews to the Rum Barrel Coconut. I appreciate that. That was my project.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was great. It's a great beer.
Yeah,
one of the better coconut beers going. Yeah.
So we're working on a coconut recipe right now to kind of the coconut recipe that I did for the Rum Barrel Temptress was exorbitant, to put it in many words. It was about a half a pound per gallon of coconut.
Wow.
That's why it tasted like an Almond Joy. I just took a bunch of those coconut, I just filled a bag and sanitized it and said, whoop. We only had 1 barrel. Had 1 rum barrel. I decided to put coconut in it, and we only got 3 kegs out of it. And it went fast. It was super popular, and so I'm working on a recipe right now to make it on our big scale. So we've got the recipe finalized, and later this year, I don't have a date. I don't have a date at all. Later this year, we'll have it available non-barrel aged, sometime between fall and winter is my guess. And that'll be available with the non-barrel age in 4-packs and kegs, just like our normal Seduction series. And then I am busy sourcing rum barrels right now with this little sexy guy right here. Look at that pull. This is the guy behind Grand Allowance, by the way. Get yourself some of that.
It's good. I'm having it right now.
Oh, thanks. Wheat wine, Chardonnay barrel aged, 12.8%. Phenomenal. Part 2 of our new barrel-aged legendary series that we're going to do a collection series. So there's a rye barrel-aged. I like that Modern Times shirt. I got a buddy of mine that brews there.
We know like one person.
Back to the point. But Grand Allowance coming out soon. I think I already mentioned it, but the coconut. We're working on the rum barrels right now. So if you remember it from last year, that is my project that I'm taking on. I want to make sure that it is as good as you guys remember. I don't want to disappoint. And please look forward to that because I'm excited about what that turned into. I think it turned into an amazing beer.
It was fantastic beer,
Yeah, we love all the crazy Temptress stuff we've been doing, and we're always trying to push the boundaries. What's up, my friend? Bourbon Barrel? Absolutely. Woo. See, everyone's popping off.
All right, thanks, Justin.
Cheers.
So we're here back over at St. Arnold when Dustin and I are about to get married. We're going to become legally wed podcasters. Once we're officially wed as podcasters, we can never break the show up again. That's it.
We probably will. It'll probably end in a couple weeks.
And if we want to do the break room, that means we're going to get Thomas out here today.
Everyone's already married to him, though.
Well, that probably will end in divorce shortly.
He doesn't count.
So we're waiting in line behind a couple of other couples.
Yeah.
No, there's no annulments. No. The Church of St. Arnold does not allow this.
I've already annulled it, actually, before we even go in there.
You're about to get annulled.
It's already done.
You're about to get annulled after this.
And your names are?
Dustin.
And Mark.
Dustin and Mark. Fantastic. I'm St. Arnold. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, St. Arnold.
Okay, yeah.
You've lived a very long time.
I look good for my age.
You do. You really do.
Right.
Just a touch of gray.
Dustin and Mark.
We're doing your barrel age 15 right now.
Fantastic. That's good. I'm glad you have beer. We have come together today to witness and celebrate the beer union of Dustin and Mark in loving beer matrimony. Your decision to unite your lives into one is fitting and right if there is love of beer in your hearts.
There is.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Agreed.
There better be. Water is the essence of life, but when water is combined with grains, hops, and yeast, the outcome is glorious beer.
Glorious beer!
So too shall be the product of your beer union. Please say to him, with love in my heart,
with love in my heart,
and for the entire world to see,
and the entire world to see,
I offer you my hand,
and
my glass,
and glass for sure,
to share forever.
To share forever.
Will you be my beer husband?
Will you be my beer husband?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Very definitive.
No doubt in my heart.
All right. And then say to him, with love in my heart.
With love in my heart.
And for the entire world to see.
And for the entire world to see.
I offer you my hand.
I offer you my hand.
No matter what may be on tap.
No matter what may be on tap.
In our lives to come.
In our lives together.
Will you be my beer husband?
Will you be my beer husband?
I will.
Your two hearts now beating as one, your souls now deeply joined anew. Walk forward together and have a beer together. As St. Arnold, the patron saint of brewers, it is my right, privilege, and honor to pronounce you beer husbands. Cheers.
Cheers.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you. We're in love forever. So we just got finished with Big Texas Beer Fest 2017. I would say it was a better year than last year.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't know what it was different this year.
It's one of the better ones they've done in a few years.
I would agree. It's it had a different energy this year.
Yeah.
And I would say it was more the difference between this and Untapped is this is a more high energy festival than Untapped is. Untapped is much more relaxed.
There's a lot of really drunk people here too.
I think that's part of it though, but I think it's that more being in the enclosed space I think lends it a certain energy.
Yeah.
That makes it lends a higher energy to it.
Yeah, I would agree.
By the way, we're joined here by Jem. Our friend Jem from our old Temptress episode.
I know. I had fun. I thought it was pretty good. Not too packed. They had a lot of good vendors. Tupps was cool to talk to. Very friendly.
Yeah, I would agree.
You didn't get a huge fill, with the cups that they provided, but I think with 12 portions for a single person, that's pretty much enough.
Yeah. And you could always buy extras if you wanted to.
You can buy extras and
a couple of bucks.
If you're lucky like me and nobody asks you for your card, then you can just have unlimited beer while you're at Big Spaces.
Yeah, you're kind of a
I am a
I think if you're lucky enough, you can get married on film and at St. Arnold's.
Well, hopefully by the time you hear that, so my aim is to put out a compilation video of what happened during Big Texas. So hopefully by the time this is out, you'll be able to hear and see highlights from the Big Texas Beer Festival. If I have that actually done by this time, I'll try to put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, we got a decent amount of highlights.
Yeah, we took a lot of video. Dustin and I got, as you probably just heard at the end of this audio, because depending on how I cut this thing, Dustin and I got beer married, so we are locked for life in beer podcasting.
In beer,
so.
yeah.
But I thought this was one of their better years.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I don't know why that is. I don't know. It's like some weird ephemeral energy, but
it was a little bit smoother than usual. I don't know.
I think adding the Friday night in the last couple of years has helped drastically.
Oh, yeah.
Although it was still packed. We got here at noon and it was empty because we got in with the press.
It was busy, but compared to before you couldn't even walk around.
I would agree. Yeah, I didn't see any vomiting. We saw some people almost get in a fight.
Yeah. We saw some diarrhea, but no vomiting.
Yeah, a lot of diarrhea.
Yeah.
But it was one of their better years. Did you have a favorite beer? I think, again, as we said before, it's difficult because very few brewers bring experimental brews to this festival.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a little bit educated this time in the Firkin realm, which I was not aware of. Apparently, the Texas area does allow for Firkins, and before we thought It can only be previously approved TABC beers that were approved for mass release. But apparently the Firkin is something that is allowed, and it's allowed, if someone wants to do a one-off.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's something. There's two areas of improvement that I think Big Texas could do. One is a lot of the brewers brought seating, like Lakewood and Noble Rey. They brought seating. I think honestly, there's so much space in that building that I think if Big Texas were to bring in some, flimsy plastic chairs, I think that would help things a lot. Because we were here for 5, almost 6 hours, and our feet are, aching after all that. So
you were crying pretty much.
I was crying. My feet were actually bleeding.
Yeah.
They were actually bleeding.
Well, it's sad for you because normally you sit at home in the same chair.
Yeah.
Grow into the chair.
Right.
When you had to move around, it's hard.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
tough for you. Yeah.
It was very much a idiocracy situation.
Jim did a good impersonation of it there. Yeah, exactly. That's normally what you do at home.
Normally it's just a blood trail around my house. But
South Park, World of Warcraft episode where he's like...
Exactly. Now, when Mark gets up, he has to literally rip his skin out of the
every time.
seat.
It always requires a trip to the emergency room. So I think one thing is if they could add more seats, I think they'd be really good.
Yeah.
It seemed to be primarily concentrated on the poles of the event. So Noble Rey on one end, Lakewood on the other. And there were some sparse here and there, but I think that would be an improvement. And then second, I hope that Chad over Big Texas, I think if they would encourage the brewers to bring Firkins, make it a thing of bring us a couple of 3 Firkins. Like Petticoats always bring us a Firkin. Today they had the Duke of Peaches and a couple others. I can't remember what they said. Noble Rey had a couple. I think if you were to make it...
I agree. And thank you to Tupps, by the way, for educating us on that.
Tupps,
we did not record that, but that is where we got that information.
So I think if they were to encourage the brewers to bring more Firkins, maybe make a competition out of it, maybe not. Just maybe say, we would ask you to bring at least one Firkin of some variants, since apparently the Texas law does allow for that. I think that would make it an even better festival.
Yeah, I agree.
But otherwise, I think this was... I enjoyed this year more than I did other years, and I don't know why that is.
Well, for one, being press helps. Let's just be honest.
But we had that last year as well.
We can't complain about... Well, I didn't. You did. You lorded it over me.
I did.
I was sitting in VIP way in the back.
Is that when you tried
laughed
to steal...
at me.
Is that when you tried to steal food from 1050 last year?
Well, that was a different reason, but yes, I did do that. That was when I got super drunk. This year, the drunken level was down too, which was nice.
Yeah.
We got some good interviews. But yeah, I think... Literally, I honestly think being press helps a ton.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, everyone listening can't do that, but for us, it was really nice.
So, did you of everything we drank today? Did you have a favorite?
Yeah, I would say the Vanilla Rye from Goose Island was definitely a favorite. Again, that was an advantage of being press because we got to be right in the front of the line. Yeah. Even when the VIPs all ran in there, you would have to be in the front of the VIP to get it
because they only had 10 bottles.
They only had 10 bottles of it. So we were able to get in there about 10 minutes to 1, stand in line, have all the VIPs running behind us, and we were able to get it. That was really good. KBS is always good.
Hold on. But as that one guy said behind me, Goose Island has a really long line for no reason. Absolutely no reason at all.
Forget about that guy. But that was good. The KBS is always good. Bell's is always good. They're a new addition to Texas. Two-Hearted, the oatmeal stout, anything you can get from them.
Right, but I wouldn't say they were best in show. They were just...
I just said they're good.
Okay, they're good, yeah.
Two-Hearted's about best in show for IPA. It's in top 2 or 3.
It's good, yeah. But I'm just saying, surprises.
Surprises, no. Petticoat Sledgehammer, always a good addition to these festivals.
We missed the Deep Ale and Barrel Crusher by this much.
You said you can't forget the Ice Box.
The Ice Box was good.
You're right. The Ice Box was good. The Ice Box was very good.
6% really,
But I'll tell you the one...
Augments your brain somewhat.
My favorite was definitely, and I'm not saying just because we've done an interview with them, but Tupps Saison was really surprisingly, for an Imperial Saison, 9.4% ABV. I really like that beer.
I didn't have that one, but their For Ella...
Yeah, that was
double
good
IPA was really good.
Yeah,
I didn't have the one you had, but their Day Off too. Their new Kolsch they're putting out.
They don't have that.
Normally Kolsch's I feel are kind of bland and they're fine. To me, Kolsch's are like a step up from a lager.
Right.
And I'm like, it's okay, but if I'm gonna have a poolside thing, it's like a step up from a lager. This Kolsch was actually really good. It had like a savory edge to it, and it was tasty.
Yeah, it was. Their Saison, I was really surprised. It was light and fruity and peppery, like you might get out of a regular low ABV Saison.
Right.
But this one was 9.4%, and you could not tell.
Yeah.
And
even their double IPA is less ABV than their Saison.
Yeah, and the Oak Island's Chump Change was also really, really good, but it was barrel aged. It was barrel aged, also really good, but I was just surprised by the Tupps Saison and how good it was. To me, that was my favorite beer of the show.
I missed the Dream Crusher barrel aged version.
We all missed it because of you. It's all your fault.
You can get it other places, but I missed it.
You missed it by
I'll have to
that
find
much.
it somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I blame you for that.
The Bitter Sisters barrel aged knockout was pretty good too.
That was good.
I think anything I was seeking out, the Trump Change that was barrel aged was good. A lot of barrel aged stuff this year, honestly. But yeah, I don't remember having anything from a Firkin. I didn't even have the Pedicolis Firkin.
No, we totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
We talked to Michael Pedicolis just for not even 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But we forgot about the Firkins.
He's skateboard man passed us.
He did indeed.
He said you were a good-looking dude, though. So
yeah, I'm maybe fat, but damn, I'm good-looking.
He said you're a handsome DFW guy.
Yeah.
I think that was the quote.
All right, well.
Any closing thoughts, Jim?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was good.
I think this is their best one in many years, and like I said, I don't know why. It was a good energy.
I hate to be a jackass. I still like Untapped/Index Fest better, but this is a very solid 1B. I like it a lot.
I think it's just a very different festival. Like, to me, Untapped is more, it's much more laid back, whereas being inside in this festival adds like a certain energy to it that you don't get in Untapped.
True.
You get a much more communal aspect. I mean, if you couldn't tell by the yelling in some of our audio, it's a much more communal aspect. But,
every 2 seconds.
It's just a very different festival.
Yeah.
But this is our last pure beer festival in this town.
Yeah, it is more pure than Untapped.
Other than maybe Firkin Fest or Big Little, whatever. But I'm saying in Dallas proper, it's our last proper beer festival.
It's this one and Index, really the only ones we have.
Index is going to be more food.
Index is more of a mix.
We'll see.
This is more of a pure.
We'll see how Index changes with focusing also on food next year. So,
all right.
I would give this one 5 out of 5 today. I think it was really, really good.
I'll give it 2 flaming thumbs up.
That's the wrong rating scale.
Okay, that's 5 out of 5.
All right, well, we'll catch you guys on the next episode of Brew Bloods.
Have a rating, Jim?
Hell yeah. I'll give it a thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
All right, we'll catch you guys on the next episode of Brew Bloods. You can email us at brewbloodshow@gmail.com. Call us at some number. Go to redred.com/r/brewbloods and brewbloods.net for all the links to every single if you want to listen to the audio version.
Probst.
So, for Dustin, I'm Mark.
Mark, I'm Dustin. Probst.
And for Jim, I'm Mark and Dustin.
So Probst.
Probst.
Prost.